Welcome back. You're watching Live from Paris. It's time for Media Watch France with James Creedon, who's here in the studio. Good evening to James.
Good evening, Laura.
Starting with François Hollande, the Socialist Party presidential candidate.
Yes.
He's managed to get the flower off his jacket now with his hair, but he's also ramped up his security as well, hasn't he?
That's right. So let's take a look at those pictures from yesterday when he got flower bombed at one of these political rallies. The woman was taken down pretty quickly. You can see it there, very dramatically, taken to one side and whisked off into the horizon. There you go. And she's quite unhappy about that, obviously. She was hoping to flower bomb him more, probably. But in any case, he had 2 bodyguards yesterday. How many does he have today? 15.
Much better.
So multiplying by, my maths are going to catch me here,
less
over
cake,
7.
Less cake making equipment making its way.
There you go. The
Towards
thing
him.
is, it is quite interesting because François Hollande had been offered state security before by the Service of Protection of Senior Public Officials, but he refused it because he was afraid that these top cops might be affiliated with the UMP party and could act as spies. So he refused that assistance. Well, now, since he's been flower bombed, perhaps he's getting a little bit concerned, so he's accepted that official help, basically, or that official security. So there you go, from 2 to 15 in 24 hours.
Perhaps not as popular as he thought he was.
No, this is it. It might have been a bit of a wake-up call for
Now,
the presidential candidate.
And another politician, of course, who has a lot of security is Marine Le Pen, a very controversial figure
That's
here in
right.
France. So some news on her too.
That's right. All of the media basically have been looking at the situation of the security situation for the various candidates. Let's have a look online. Here they're showing how these top cops are equipped. They're sort of James Bond type
All
characters.
guns.
That's right. Loads of guns. If they've even got these kind of umbrellas that are very James
Just one
Bond.
person has all of those guns.
Well, they have. I think the team
get to-
has access to these materials.
Goodness.
It's very interesting stuff. Jean-Marie Le Pen's bodyguard has been passed down from father to daughter to Marine Le Pen. He once
Getting on a bit
protected
now.
people in Hollywood. This guy is Jean-Luc Mélenchon's bodyguard. He's actually a philosophy teacher. He published 2 different books, one on Epicurus, the Greek philosopher, and another on the proletariat and the fascination of the elite with the proletariat. Or something like that.
No offence to the gentleman, but he doesn't look like the most muscular type, does he?
I'd just kind of push him aside and get straight to
I
Mélenchon. I
think
mean,
even-
you wouldn't be too worried about him, really, would you?
I think even you could have him, James. All right.
Even me,
Now-
limber me.
Yes, now let's move on to this racism scandal at
Elle
French
magazine.
Elle. A journalist there wrote a rather, I think you could call it patronising
Yes.
piece about black women and their style, and she's been forced to defend herself today.
That's right. It created a scandal in Italy and in the US before it actually became a scandal in France, and now for the last week or so it has been bubbling away in the background as a scandal. Basically, what she's to quote what was written in the US, chic has become plausible for the African American community, who up until now have been entrenched in streetwear fashion codes. The US is a country where the black bourgeoisie, or she used the word black joisie, has
dear.
incorporated all of the codes of white people. So for a number of different reasons. And then she said, the Obamas have been a big influence. So she coined this term black joisie, which is already a little bit strange because why should you distinguish white and from black bourgeoisie? So in any case, it created a lot of noise. Now, since then, Elle magazine have been going on this big PR offensive to try to assuage the damage of this. They invited anti-racism groups around to the headquarters, put the video of that discussion with the management of Elle magazine up online. So a big PR offensive. Le Monde stirred it all up again in the last couple of days, asking, well, when are Elle magazine going to put a black woman on the cover? Apparently, Elle magazine in France haven't yet done that. So there you go. It's
Many fashion magazines, it has to be said.
That's right. They tend to be pretty, I suppose, not as diverse as they should be. So it's a controversy that's still bubbling away under the surface.
And as always with these things, the unfortunate byproduct for people protesting against this is this kind of thing raises the circulation of the magazines
That's
involved,
right.
doesn't it?
That's right.
We saw it with,
sort of-
what are they called? The Hebdo, Charlie Hebdo.
Charlie Hebdo. If you say something a bit controversial, people want to read it.
People want to read it. Now, can we do the singing? No, let's save it. Newt Gingrich, he's having a bad week, isn't he? First, he lost the Florida primary. Now, he's been told he can't use that fantastic Eye of the Tiger track.
Very
for his
motivational
campaign
piece, isn't it?
rallies.
And I
Yeah.
suppose because he's now the
Rising up to the challenge.
That's right, and because he's now I suppose
rival.
the less what's the opposite of a favourite? Challenger, I suppose. What the French say that. Let's roll the music in
Yes,
any
let's
case
listen to
before while I can't find the words. So he got in trouble. The band Survivor, which penned this piece, one of their former band members is suing Newt Gingrich's camp for the rights to this music, or for damages to be paid. So you can
we
see
go.
now, basically, that Gingrich is arriving on stage at these political rallies,
we are.
and to the rousing music of Eye of the Tiger. So we'll just listen in. Now, the difficulty here is we might get sued because they're getting so touchy about I suppose, copyright laws that, you nearly kind of wonder, are we going to be in trouble? Let's go onto the computer and take a look at what Huffington Post have done today. They've done a big list of all of the different politicians who have done exactly the same thing, basically. You've got Hold On, Obama used that. You've got various other examples of this. And here in The Guardian, we can see that MGMT sued Nicolas Sarkozy for the 2007 campaign song that he used, Kids. Now, I have to get to this, Laura.
Yes.
The way to avoid it might be Jacques Chirac in 1981.
He got round it, didn't he?
He wrote his own song. That way you don't have any copyright
give us
issues.
a snippet.
So basically, let's take a listen to Jacques Chirac in 1981.
Thought we were going to get the James
Vote
Green
Jacques
version.
Chirac.
Here we go. So it's Votant Jacques Chirac.
It's actually really, and what is it again? Président, whatever. It's actually really catchy.
It's very catchy and very 80s. All right, James Greenan, excellent stuff. Thanks very much indeed. Now it's time for web news, and anti-capitalist protesters are getting creative online. Take a look.